Hello children, class 4. Good. We will revise what we learned today in our video lesson with teams about countable and uncountable nouns. Nouns are words of objects that can be counted, and so they are called countable. And words of other objects, or bread in this case, which cannot be counted, and are called uncountable. Let's start with the countable nouns. Countable nouns can be counted, and so they have the singular and plural form, like a tree. We can count 1 tree, 2 trees, 3 trees, 50 trees, 100 trees. So we can count them. The singular form is with the verb is at the singular and is followed by a. There is a tree. The plural form has many forms, but it is important to remember that we have to use the verb are, and the word that follows must have an S. We can say there are trees, there are 2, 3, 4 trees, there are some trees, there are lots of trees. Some countable nouns are banana, which in plural becomes bananas. Carrots becomes carrots. Sweet, sweets. Sandwich, sandwiches. Biscuit, biscuits. Hot dog, hot dogs. Egg, eggs. So, if I want to say there is 1 banana, I say there is a banana. There is a carrot. There is a sweet. There is a sandwich. There is a biscuit. There is a hot dog. And there is an egg. If I want to say a sentence where banana is plural, more than 1, I say there are bananas. There are 2 carrots. There are some sweets. There are lots of sandwiches. There are biscuits. There are 4 hot dogs. There are some eggs. These are the countable nouns. Words that can be counted, of objects that can be counted. Uncountable nouns are words, in this case, food, that cannot be counted and is only in the singular form. So, we use the verb in the singular form is, but we do not use a after is, but some. There is some bread. Okay, we cannot say breads, butters. We cannot say 2 bread or 2 butter. Uncountable nouns are words like bread, the whole, sugar, the whole, coffee, the whole. But if we want bread to become countable, we have to divide it into slices, fettine, or pieces. Okay, so if I want bread to become countable, I must divide it into parts. And the sentence becomes countable, plural. There are 2 slices of bread. Or there are 2 cups of coffee. There are 4 glasses of milk. So if I want these words to become countable, I must divide them into cups, slices, glasses. But if I talk about bread, coffee, even in Italian, il pane, il caffè, non dico ci sono pani, c'è del pane. So, there is some bread. C'è del caffè. There is some coffee. Se voglio appunto ripetere che bread diventi countable, devo dire ci sono delle fette di pane. There are some slices of bread. Ecco che uso il verbo are e slices è plurale. Good. The next example, okay. So, we can So now we know how to use the countable and uncountable nouns in the affirmative form. There is a carrot. There are some carrots. Countable. Uncountable. There is some bread. Or there is lots of bread. But if I want countable nouns, singular, to become negative, I say, there isn't a carrot. Question, is there a carrot? The plural. From the affirmative, there are some carrots. Negative, there aren't any carrots. Question, are there any carrots? As you can see, we use any with negative and question plural form. Okay, good. Uncountable nouns. The affirmative is there is some bread or there is lots of bread. Negative is becomes isn't. There isn't any bread. Question, is there any bread? As you can see, any. Any is used again in the negative and question form. Good. Some in the affirmative and any in the negative and in the question form. Okay. Let's do some examples. Countable nouns, singular. Affirmative. There are 3 eggs. There is a banana. There are 2 olives. There are lots of fries. There is a burger. There is a hot dog. There is an apple. There are 2 carrots. There are 5 tomatoes. There is a watermelon. Negative. There aren't any eggs. There isn't a banana. There aren't any olives. There aren't any fries. There isn't a burger. There isn't a hot dog. There isn't an apple. There aren't any carrots. There aren't any tomatoes. There isn't a watermelon. Question, are there any eggs? Is there a banana? Are there any olives? Are there any fries? Is there a burger? Is there a hot dog? Is there an apple? Are there any carrots? Are there any tomatoes? Is there a watermelon? Good. Uncountables. We only use the singular is. Affirmative. There is some milk. There is some flour. There is some salt. There is some sugar. There is some jam. There is some meat. There is some rice. There is some honey. There is some tea. And there is some cheese. We can use some, but even. There is lots of. C'è molta latte. There is lots of milk. There is lots of flour. There is lots of salt. There is lots of sugar. Good. Negative. There isn't any milk. There isn't any flour. There isn't any salt. There isn't any sugar. There isn't any jam. There isn't any meat. There isn't any rice. There isn't any honey. There isn't any tea. And there isn't any cheese. Very easy. Question. Is there any milk? Is there any flour? Is there any salt? Is there any sugar? Is there any jam? Is there any meat? Is there any rice? Is there any honey? Is there any tea? Is there any cheese? As you can see, uncountables is much easier. We just use is. Uncountables more complicated because we have to decide if when we use the plural and singular form. Okay, good. I hope you've understood the explanation. You look at this video. It will help you prepare yourself to do the worksheets. And if you don't understand, you look at the video again, but I'm sure you will get it. Okay, take care. See you next time.